Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. And as you can see, your boy at work at the radio station today, but it's still a good day to talk about the New Orleans Saints. And it's been a while since I did a show like this, a Saints Q&A, where I take questions from loyal viewers of the State of the Saints podcast. You can ask me anything you want right now. I don't care what you want to ask me. You can ask me about the Saints. You can ask me anything that you want to ask me. Feel free to do so. But I want to say thank you to everybody that's filing into the chat, of course. And I want to thank everybody that checks out the State of the Saints podcast, whether this is your first time or this is your 500th time. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to give a special shout out to some of the people I see filing into the chat here. Shouts out to your boy Jay, Brian, RJ Mason, Justin, Darwin, Candace, Mr. Realist, Swagger, Joseph, Demetrius, Cole, Robert, the OG Jared Poor Jr., Jules is in here, Keen Arthur, always rolling through the spot. We got Prime Time, Mr. Parts, Shanzi, Dave, and Chanel. Deadpool is in here. So thank you all very much. And I also see Josh and Jesus has come through. So, like I said, feel free to ask me anything that you want. I don't mind what it is. Just wanted to do a show like this because, every now and then, we have like these different shows, but, most of them are, topic shows, and we try to stay on topic. And there's also a lot of people whose questions don't really get answered because we're kind of, in the middle of something, and I might scroll down and might miss your question. So feel free to do so today. So let's see where we're going to start. Let's start with D West. D West says, do you think the Saints need that number one more than the Packers? D West, I mentioned this on a show, a couple times. I just don't look at home field advantage this season as an advantage, especially since we're dealing with COVID-19. And if you look at the Green Bay Packers, they have not had fans in the stands all year long. And I think with the Superdome, the most fans they ever had in the stands was about 6,000, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not looking at home field advantage as an actual thing this season. I just feel like if you go on the road, you should be able to win, because you don't have to worry about the snap count. You don't have to worry about a hostile environment where fans are screaming to the top of their lungs. You don't have to worry about some of the things that you would worry about in the past. So I do feel like home field advantage doesn't have that same type of that same type of feel this year. So I think the Saints should be okay, regardless if they play at home or on the road. Mr. Parr says, TJ, do you think our defense can handle KC? Yes, I do. Mr. Parts, there's something about this Saints team that always seems to happen every time they go up against elite competition. And that is they play to the best of their ability. They always show up and show out. And I think it has a lot to do with, their opponent, looking at their opponent as the measuring stick to their success. We've seen this in the past with the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 2018. We've seen it with the Rams. We've seen it with the 49ers last year. So the Saints always rise to the occasion, which, we can be appreciative as Saints fans. Honestly, I think that they're going to give the Kansas City Chiefs all they can handle. I understand that the Kansas City Chiefs are the best offense in football. I understand that they're high-powered, but I also feel like the Saints are going to be disciplined in this game, and I think they're going to be there right to the end. And it definitely, honestly, it would not surprise me if the Saints actually beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a very convincing fashion. It would not surprise me at all because the Saints play that way every time they go up against elite competition. Leanne says, great interview yesterday. Well, I appreciate that, Leanne. I appreciate that. Thank you for checking it out. And special shout out to John DeShazer, man. That was John DeShazer's maybe fourth time on the State of the Saints podcast. And we all know how busy John is, man. He's traveling with the team, every single week. He's organizing some of those Saints pre- and post-game shows and stuff like that. And he always finds time, man. Anytime I ask John to be on the show, he always says, okay. So stand-up guy, man. It's just a blessing to actually have met him and it's good that you can have people that you can rely on, man. And anytime you ask them to be on the show, they're there. Jeff Nowak is another guy, I can ask anytime and he'll be on the show. And also Ryan Walker, man. Y'all probably seen him a couple times. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that you all enjoyed it. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback about that interview, and hopefully we'll have some interviews ahead, man. I feel like I'm reaching my stride as an interviewer. When I was first doing it, I was a little bit nervous. Now, I told my mom the other day, I said, I don't care who I interview now. I mean, I can interview the president of the United States and probably don't feel nervous about it. I guess that's just me. But you all made this show successful, man, by coming here every week and, building up the subscribers and helping me build up the subscribers. And now, people are asking for the State of the Saints podcast. I'm getting opportunities to talk on the radio and do other podcasts. So I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. And thank you all for sharing and liking and commenting on the interview as well. Jonathan says, how do you feel about our secondary? I still feel like we need another weapon back there like Earl Thomas. Jonathan, I honestly feel like the secondary didn't reach its stride as far as where they can be. And I honestly have been really impressed with the way the secondary has played. It's never been a better time for the Saints secondary to really truly step it up. You know what I'm saying? There were moments where we kind of wondered if that was even a possibility. And I'm just glad, man. I mean, there was a time where these guys were getting sliced through like Swiss cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like a hot knife through butter, if you will. But they got it handled, man. I just feel like anybody else back there that you're asking, you're probably going to be messing with the chemistry. I don't have a problem with that, man. I mean, I think it hurts them that Patrick Robinson is out. And I do feel like they may need to get another cornerback because I really don't trust P.J. Williams. I feel like they need to get somebody else, maybe somebody from the practice squad. I don't understand why they can't bring Keith Washington. And I'm pretty sure this guy, he's been on the practice squad all season long. I don't see why you can't get this guy some reps maybe on special teams and maybe put him in certain situations to see what he can do. But we definitely going to have all hands on deck this week. I mean, we probably going to be seeing 3 safety sets. We're going to be seeing different cornerbacks. The Saints are going to try to do all type of things to try to make sure that Kansas City don't have their way with them. But I'm not concerned about the secondary, Jonathan. I think that they'll be okay. Shane says, I think we bounce back this Sunday and show who we are. Well, I already know who the Saints were. I understand that we lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're frustrated about that because the Eagles were not a good football team. But, it happens. It happens. I mean, these teams get paid to play the Saints, and I don't have a difference of opinion about this team. My opinion has not wavered. I just feel like they dropped the ball last week. But if anybody just think that the Kansas City Chiefs don't just gonna come into New Orleans and steamroll the Saints, then they got another thing coming. Brian says we got to hire the coach that helped Tiki Barber stop fumbling. Brian, yeah. Ball security is very important, especially for Taysom Hill, who has fumbled the ball 10 times this season. Definitely want to hold it high and tight, and definitely don't want to relinquish the football, especially in a game like this. You'll get beat. So I don't know who they need to get to work on ball security with Taysom, but it should, they definitely should do that. Or at least get somebody up in there that can actually hold on to the football. RJ says, do you think we can beat the Chiefs? Yes. Yes, I do. I believe very strongly that they can beat the Chiefs. Your boy Jay says, TJ, if Taysom doesn't get it together the first few drives of the Chiefs game, do you think Sean will go with Jameis or just ride it out that game with Taysom? Your boy Jay, I mentioned that on the show on yesterday. I said that he's probably going to be on a short leash. If you look at that interview, you can tell, and I mean about interview, I mean the Huddle and Flow podcast with Sean Payton. Check it out. He talked about it, man. I mean, he was ranting and raving about Jameis Winston in that interview. If you watch that interview or on YouTube or listen to it, you come away thinking that he was more high on Jameis than he is on Taysom. I think Taysom started is because of his commitment to Taysom in the offseason and his promise to him. But by no means does that mean that Taysom, if he goes out there and he doesn't play well, that we might not see Jameis Winston come through. But I think that Sean Payton going to be very skeptical about putting him in the game because I really feel like he thinks that he can fix Jameis Winston. And maybe if Jameis Winston goes out there and goes hard and puts up a good performance against the Kansas City Chiefs, you might have some teams that's out there bidding for him to be their quarterback next year. And I don't think that Sean wants that. Jared Poor says, I was hearing that Sean Payton will give us an update on Drew Brees in about the next hour. Yeah, Jared Poor, yeah, my friend, they was talking about that. They wanted him to throw. Sean Payton said on last week he was throwing the ball and he was very uncomfortable doing so. But we'll see today. I'll be highly surprised if he plays Sunday, though. I'll be highly surprised. T says, who that? What's up, TJ? Tell moms hello. I missed saying it the other day. T, I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure my mom probably sees your comment because she watches every episode. She tries to watch every live. So she's probably watching this right now. She probably don't have opportunity. She probably too busy to be in the chat, but I'm pretty sure she sees it. But appreciate that, T. Keen Archer says, TJ, we have looked good over the past few months defensively. How do we contain Mahomes and make sure Tyreek doesn't beat us deep? Well, first off, you don't play man coverage on Tyreek Hill, okay? You got to play some zone coverage. You got to play some cover two, okay? You got to have that safety, back there. You got to make sure that you don't let him get behind you. For this matchup, I would have to say that I will put Janoris Jenkins on Tyreek Hill. That's what I would do in this game. I would put Sammy Watkins. I would put Marshawn Lattimore on him. I'll put Malcolm Jenkins. I'll make Travis Kelce, be his matchup. And, I'm saying that's what I would do, man. And I definitely, I'll put like somebody like, CJ Gardner-Johnson on Nicole Hartman, even though he's extremely fast. But I just feel like, CJ probably can, do some things, probably, bully him a little bit. And PJ Williams, man, I mean, my goodness. But anyway, I would think that that's what the Saints are going to do. I feel like Janoris Jenkins would be a better matchup because I just feel like somebody like Marshawn Lattimore, he does better with larger, rangier receivers like Sammy Watkins. So that would be that would be the way I would play the game. Brian says the Packers are suspect. Yeah, I do think they have a lot of unanswered questions. Josh says, TJ, want to hear something funny? I got 4 college students who never been in a fight trying to convince me that a major size difference don't matter in a fight. People watch too many movies. They said that a major size difference don't matter in a fight. It definitely does. It does matter in a fight, okay? I mean, there's a reason why you look at boxing, there's weight classes, right? There's a reason why that is an actual thing. Bring on famous Jameis. Well, you might see him sooner rather than later. Jerry says, great interview with John DeShays on Tuesday. Yeah, like I said, Jerry, everybody's been talking about that. I think we have a good chemistry now, probably because he's been on the show and we have that comfortability. And he's definitely like one of my favorite people to interview. Second, I'll probably say Mike Detillier because Mike is like such a good storyteller. And he's so candid. And I think last time I did an interview with Mike Detillier, we probably talked like 45 minutes off the air. And a lot of that information, man, he was just talking about him growing up in Bayou country and, some of the things that him and Bobby Abel did and him talking about Coach Orgeron. I mean, it was just some good stuff, man. But JD is definitely up there, man. And Mike Detillier, I mean, those right now, those are 2 of my favorite people because I enjoy talking to them. Super suspect. I guess they're talking about the Packers. And I apologize, folks. I know the energy was super high on the last episode, but, man, this is a Q&A, man. So we got the chill atmosphere here today, man. We chilling, man. We laying back. And maybe, if somebody says something too outrageous, y'all might get a little rise out of me. But right now, just kind of just a little bit laid back, just a little laid back. I'm ready for Drew Brees to come back. I'm tired of this Taysom Hill offense. I think a lot of people are, though, Joseph. I think a lot of people are frustrated with Taysom Hill. I don't know, man. Look, he's a backup quarterback. He has a lot of growing to do before he can be a full-time starter, but it's good that he's getting some reps as a starter so you know how to build. And you can also answer the question, can you build with him? And I know a lot of people ready to answer that question for him, but I mean, it is a fair question to ask. Jules says, Drew Brees back. He's old enough to be Patrick Mahomes' father. That is true. I wish y'all would just give crab legs a chance. Jules, I don't think they want to give him a chance, man. I really don't. I don't think the Saints want to show their hands, man. Like if you got a, I don't know really too many poker analogies, right? But I guess if you got a straight flush, man, you don't want to show your hand, right? I think I said that right. I don't play poker. I just know that a straight flush means something special. But anyway, you don't want to show your hand, so maybe he don't want to have that situation like it was with Teddy Bridgewater, right? Teddy Bridgewater came into the game and played his way out of New Orleans. Maybe he don't want that. TJ, I've seen quite a few of these people infringing on your podcast name. Man, look, I don't mind anybody. Like, first off, I want to clear the air here. All right. I seen somebody, like, this was a while back. Somebody went at like Nas and talk about how he has like segments called State of the Saints. That was just a coincidence. And honestly, Nas been doing State of the Saints before I think I even thought about the name of the show. It just so happened that I called this podcast the State of the Saints podcast. But you got a lot of people, man, they putting the state of this, state of that. And I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. I ain't got no problem with it. And you know what I'm saying? Especially like when people, start their own podcasts and stuff like that. Like, I take it at almost like, what I'm saying, like a badge of honor a little bit, especially like when people tell me, like Who Dat Davis talks about how, I motivated him to start a podcast. Man, look, I appreciate that type of stuff. That's humbling as hell. But those other people out there, man, that don't want to give me credit, that be on the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? Like looking at that kind of stuff, like taking the format of how I do the show. And I don't like that kind of stuff, man. But I mean, I find it funny, man, but at the end of the day, like you can call it whatever you want. Like you can take the name, but at the end of the day, I'm me. Like I don't try to be like anybody else. I don't want to be like anybody else. That's just not how I roll. Like I seen one of the funniest things. I had to post this, man. And I'm trying these days, man, not to let people try to get to me because I understand what they're trying to do. A lot of people, they see that you're building and you're growing and you're developing. And I guess they want to take you down, down the notch, or they don't like the way that you're growing, or they don't like the attention that you're getting. But a guy told me that I look at other podcasts, other Saints podcasts, and I just steal their thunder. I appreciate every other Saints podcast out there, but I guarantee you, man, I ain't looking at their podcast to steal their material. I think that I'm well-rounded enough, and I've watched enough Saints football that I know for a fact that I don't need to take nobody else's material. I'm me. Like I don't script this show. I don't sit up here and talk about what I'm gonna talk about. I don't have talking points. None of that stuff. It's straight rapid fire here, right? And it is impossible for me to script this show because 9 times out of 10, I'm answering questions that y'all put out there. So unless I orchestrated or conspired with y'all before the show, man, this show is pretty rapid fire. So I don't know what direction this show gonna go in. I just find that funny though. But like I said, man, you can call it the state or whatever, but there's only one State of the Saints podcast, and y'all viewing it right now. Tim, thank you very much for the $10 Canadian. TJ Jones, I finally made an early podcast. And man, last night you was killing it with them. Just kidding. And shouts out to your mom for picking the name Tim is legendary. Yeah, man. Shouts out to my mom giving me a bomb name. Shouts out to your mom giving you a bomb name. TJ, the body language on the sidelines is disheartening. Yeah, we need Drew back in the major way. We are the best team in the league. Name another team that can win without their starting quarterbacks. Shanzi, that is a very good point, and that just shows you how well prepared this team is. They don't wait till something bad happens. You know what I'm saying? They always got what like a lot of church folks like to say, a ram in the bush. You know. Josh says Aaron Rodgers' weekly interviews on the Pat McAfee show are pretty good. We should petition for you to get a weekly spot with Drew. Yeah, man. Look, only thing I would ask people to do. This is like, if you want to help me, I'm trying to get Rob Parker on the State of the Saints podcast. So if y'all can, if you want to do something and you on Twitter, if you can tweet Rob Parker and try to get him to be on the State of the Saints podcast, that's the only person that I want to be on the show. Everybody else, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm asking people. I'm trying to get everybody on here. I'm trying to look. I ask anybody. I mean, the worst that can happen if they say they can't do it or they don't respond to me, which I can care less. I'm aggressive with mine. My job on the State of the Saints podcast is to give you the best content possible. So when we had that good August, as I like to call it, when we was like hitting it out the park, when we had Jamai Bushride and Jari Evans and Zach Streif and all that on the show, man, like I reached out to them, man, and they were nice enough to be on the show. So, I mean, look, I'm persistent with mine because I want to give you all the best content possible. That is what my main objective is, right? Is to give you all the best content possible. Like I've reached out to the Saints media office to try to get people on the show, which now, what I'm saying, I had to get some things situated with my media credentials, because, even though I'm a radio personality, I never was registered by South Carolina as a media person, but now I got that straight. So I can actually, be on the sidelines for games and stuff like that because of my press credentials now. So that's something that I had to work on. That's something that I wanted to do and take very, very seriously. So, Andy, thank you very much for the $5. Says, I just don't know if Taysom can keep up with the scoring if we get into a scoring match. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's fear, Andy. And you're right about that. I mean, can he go out there and go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes? I think we all understand. I think we all know the answer to that. But we never know, man. We don't know. But I am skeptical, man. I mean, if you're not going to do it against a mass unit that was the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, I mean, what make you think that you're going to do it against the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't know. Also, I think the body language, hottest take you had, remember after the face mask, he was so ticked, he walked off the field helmetless. Yeah, man. That body language thing really bothered me more than anything else. Because it was so unconventional. It was so unconventional of a Saints team. James says, good morning, TJ. Don't let that get you down. You good, bro. Nah, that comment didn't get me down. It just told me that I'm doing something right. Like, oh man, I said this morning on Twitter, and if you follow me on Twitter, if you don't, it's State of Saints, at State of Saints. But I said it, I said it's when God is trying to elevate you, there's still going to be people while you're being elevated. They're still going to be grabbing on your legs, trying to pull you down. There's a lot of people that don't like the direction that the State of the Saints podcast is going in. And I like the direction that the State of the Saints is going in because it's organic, man. Like, this show is growing, and I never had to sell myself out. I never had to sell myself short. I never had to be a caricature of what I am. Everything that I'm doing, folks, like I'm giving you like my honest and humble opinion. Like I'm being 100% me. Like I ain't trying to sell you nothing. I ain't trying to do anything, to get y'all to start, to watch or anything like that, except just be me. And that's the reason why I take so much pride in doing this show, is because every person that subscribed to this channel organically came here. Like, I didn't have to push the channel, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to go through all these different hoops and call this person and call that person. Like, this is hard work, dedication, you know, combined with a bunch of amazing people that tune in every single episode to make this show what it is. So I'm proud of what I'm doing. And, you know, that's something that nobody can ever just take away from this show. But like I said, you know, there's always going to be people trying to bring you down. There's always going to be people try to understand, like, why are you doing what you do, and try to discredit what you're doing. But, you know, I don't think anybody can take anything away from me, because I want it too bad. I want to be successful at doing this too bad. And you can't stop my drive. Like, you cannot stop my drive. You can't stop my passion. You know, the only way you can do that is you take that passion away from me, and that's impossible. You know, that's impossible, folks. Good question, Shanzi. That definitely was a good question, Shanzi. We need CJ Wyatt up. I want to hear what he be saying to the dude. Man, me too. Me too. I hope he be a part of the NFL top 100, because you know, people are gonna be wanting to say different things about him. Zach says, I swear the media wants us to lose. Well, I don't think the media wants to give us credit for anything. Otis Williams of the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. JSU doing good things. Deion Sanders bringing a lot of positivity. Yeah, man, and his two sons don't hurt. You got both his sons. You got the quarterback and the cornerback that's going to be a part of JSU, man. So good things, man. Shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to Deion. I'm excited about that. Bro, I think we can beat the Chiefs. Me too. I think we can as well, you know, but we'll see in my prediction show, see where I go with that. Let's try the best we can and beat them Chiefs. Yeah, I think they will. I think we're going to have a better showing. This year's for sure is Super Bowl or bust. Man, it's been Super Bowl or bust for the last 2 years at least. Let's see. We need to win the last 3 games of the season. That's the understatement of the year. We definitely need to win all 3 of those games. Or hope we lose 1 and Packers lose 1 or 2. Well, I don't see the Packers losing 1 or 2 games. I can see them losing maybe 1 more game, maybe a slip up or something like that. But I don't see them losing. We are 3-1 under Taysom. Saints fans act like we are 1-3. We have too many New Jack fans speaking on the team. Smacking my lips. 3-1 is not bad for a rookie quarterback. We have been too spoiled. Look, I think a lot of people just see things for what they saw on the field from, right? You know, I think we giving Taysom the benefit of the doubt because, you know, he's a rookie quarterback starting, but man, the thing about it is it's just some of the decisions that's being made here, Dane. You know, it's just some of the decisions, and it's not like we're just you know, just talking out our behind now. I mean, it's been confirmed by Sean Payton. Like, Sean Payton is saying that he is making wrong reads. Sean Payton is saying that he is taking a long time to throw the football. Sean Payton is saying that he is lining up wrong in a formation. He's rolling to the wrong side. He's calling plays backwards. He's the one that's saying these different things. He's the one that's saying he's throwing these rocket balls. So it's not like we're just saying something that's not true. It's confirmed by Sean Payton. And I think if Sean Payton gonna come out there and say it, I think our criticism are warranted because the head coach of the New Orleans Saints been saying the same thing. And no matter how much we want a guy to work, and no matter how much positivity that we want to see come out of a guy, if a head coach is telling you that this guy has a lot of growing to do, a lot of developing to do, what are we to do as fans? What are we to do? Are we supposed to like just negate what he's saying? Are we supposed to say that we know more than Sean Payton does? Are we supposed to say that, well, maybe if you call that for him? Well, once again, he sees Taysom Hill much more than we do. And he knows if he's asking Taysom Hill to do too much, or he's trying to protect Taysom Hill from himself because he may have seen something that he saw out of Taysom Hill that he doesn't want to happen again, or it might put him in harm's way. So I don't think it's criticism anymore, especially when your coach comes out and says the same thing that everybody else is saying. That's my only point. That's my only point. People, like, the coach came out and said it. Like, it's pretty much word is bond right now. Shamika says, time of possession, run the football and keep it out of Mahomes' hands. Ain't that something, man? Like, that used to be the recipe for success to beat the Saints, right? Time of possession, run the football, and keeping the ball out of Drew Brees' hands. Now we talking about doing that with Patrick Mahomes. My, how the tables have turned, right? CT Crush 87. Thank you very much for the $2. Says there are no teams in NFC that are world beaters. That is true. Anybody can beat anybody. That was proven when we lost to the Eagles. Stefan says, I think we can beat the Chiefs if we use 6 DBs. Yeah, and we play discipline. If we play discipline, like, we've seen some things that we didn't see in weeks from the Saints, right? There were a lot of missed tackles and a lot of blown assignments. So hopefully we don't see that this week. Jared says, not a Panthers fan, but I would love to see them upset the Packers on Sunday night. It would definitely help us get back on track. Well, the Panthers may lose, but they play tough. Like, they play tough, man. They play tough to the end. They're a gritty team, and we're going to have problems in the future, man. We're going to have problems. We're going to have a lot of problems in the future coming from the Carolina Panthers because those guys are, like, really tough. They're really passionate, and I just think that they're going to kind of be like that team, you know what I'm saying, just like we were. Yeah, a lot of young players, and they're going to grow up together, and they're going to start to click, and they're going to start to develop chemistry. So we're going to have problems down the stretch. Dan says those decisions come with being a rookie, TJ, right? Which rookie quarterback was perfect his first season? Rookie quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson. If we're talking about actual rookies, right? If we're talking about actual rookies, right? We're talking about actual rookies that came in. Like, if we're looking at and evaluating it like Taysom Hill, right? So if we're looking at Taysom Hill as his first full-time starting job, right? If we're looking at his first full-time starting job and we're saying that we're evaluating him as if he is a rookie, then we need to be doing the same thing. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, so the list goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson. And so I'm gonna say they perfect, but they played a lot better than what he's doing. I mean, look, the Saints do a lot of things well. They do a lot of things well. And because they do a lot of things well, it can hide and protect Taysom, right? I mean, the Saints were playing like really good defense over those last few games, for the exception of the last one. The Saints were running the ball pretty well, for the exception of the last game. So the Saints team is structured that no matter who the quarterback is, as long as he's not turning the ball over and as long as he's not putting the ball in harm's way, the Saints have a strong possibility of winning the game. So it's not like he's out there just doing so many crazy things and it's like he just out here just stopping traffic or something. You know, look, I'm not here to beat up Taysom. Like, do I feel like he can grow and develop? Yes. Do I feel like he can be a full-time starter in this league? I'm starting to lean towards no. Do I feel like he'll be able to come in and maybe play a couple games to keep the, right the ship? Yeah. But I don't know, man. I think Sean Payton is more high on Jameis Winston than he is on Taysom Hill. And I think if it came down to it, let's just say, for example, if I don't know if let's just say if Jameis Winston didn't come at the end of the season, right, or in the off season, if before Taysom Hill signed the contract, like, do you think that Jameis would be starting over Taysom? I do. I just think that Sean Payton is a man of his word. He has a lot of integrity, and he wanted to keep his word to Taysom. Ghostface Griller, thank you very much for the $5. Says, TJ, I'm starting a David Ruffin State of the Saints podcast. Who that, my friend? Ain't nobody coming to see you. Can't nobody do it like David Ruffin. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You wish you could work it like I can work it. Because there's only one David Ruffin. And without him, you just a group in search of a David Ruffin. As a matter of fact, I was thinking they need to change the group to David Ruffin and the Temptations. You're begging me not to leave you. And I refuse to let you go. Yeah, I know that movie word for word, line for line, folks. That's one of my favorite movies right there, man, the Temptation movie. If you haven't seen that before, my goodness, you're doing yourself a disservice. Jules says, TJ, when are the Saints going to draft a young quarterback? Jules, you might see it in 2021. You might see it. Might see it. Marvin says, holds the ball too long, can't throw a touch pass, don't throw the wide open receivers, fumble the ball every game. Hill. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, man. Look, if you don't know the quarterback position, it goes way beyond just throwing the ball to a receiver. Like, you got to protect your receivers. You got to know how to throw your receivers open. You got to be able to throw the ball to an area in which the receiver can catch the ball and get down or get yards after the catch. You got to make sure that you're not throwing him in a strong possibility of getting hurt. There were a lot of plays, man, that Taysom would throw the ball, and because of the talent of those wide receivers, they was bailing them out, man. And a lot of those wide receivers, I know y'all seen, like we was talking about with Jared Cook. I think it was on fourth down. I think it was against the Falcons, and he dropped the ball or he didn't try to catch it. That was a business decision, folks. So I can't too much blame him for that, right? Because, I mean, he left his rib and his rib area and stuff like that exposed to the safety, right? So I can't too much blame him for that one. I get it. You should catch the football, but I don't know, man. You know, you got to be able to take care of your receivers. Joseph says, Sean Payton is right. I see it myself. He takes too long to throw the ball, and he don't check the ball down fast enough. Yeah, and he also stares down his receivers as well, which is a big no-no. Keen Arthur says, TJ just got the update that Drew starting against Kansas City will be contingent upon if he has any pain when throwing today. Well, I look, unless he about to do the greatest acting job in history, he gonna have some discomfort. Ribs don't heal that quick, okay? I mean, trust me, I asked my wife. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm having a conversation with her, and she's like, nah, he not well. It take at least about 6 weeks. And when I told her how many ribs, she was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be probably more longer than that. She said 6 weeks tops. Tim says, you know what? I'm so happy we aren't the people in conversations about top tens anymore. It's never done us any good. Top teams. Oh, in conversations about top teams. I apologize, Tim. Yeah, we're not in conversation. Yeah, maybe they're one of those teams that don't need don't need to be talked about. I agree. Giovanni says RG3. I think that ship and sailed. I don't know, man. His confidence isn't there anymore. Ghostface, thank you very much for the. Oh yeah, I already read that one about the David Ruffin. Already read that one. Yeah, man, David Ruffin, man. That David Ruffin was something else, man. Andrew Luck. Okay, now we reaching a part where we just saying, like, rookie quarterbacks. That Justin Herbert. Yeah, that's another one. Dank says, TJ, you don't think Sean Payton is getting in his own way of play calling, trying to prove to the NFL world wrong, and is overusing Taysom Hill, running Murray, getting only 4 carries a game is unacceptable to me. Well, that's one game, Dank. You know, I don't feel like his play calling was just that bad in the game, man. It was execution. Like, go back and watch that game, man. You had guys running down the field wide open. You know, it was just about execution. I know it's sometimes like when you see guys getting sacked or you see guys, giving up pressures or stuff like that, you like, man, what's wrong with the play calling? Why they not doing this? Why they not doing that? And we also have to take into account the Saints was down 17-0. Okay. If you're down 17-0, you might have to throw running out of the game plan until you catch up. So he had no choice but to throw the football at that point because the defense, gave up 17 points. So, I mean, for you to say, okay, they need to run the football, I mean, but you're down by 17 points. Now you're racing against the clock and you're trying to get back into the game. So, I don't know if it was just play calling, man. I mean, look, every single week, Dank, he fumbles the football. Every single week, he turns the ball over. Every single week, he messes up a formation. Every single week, he goes in the opposite direction. Every single week, holding on to the ball too long. Like, I get that we want to, we got some Taysom Hill supporters here, and I want Taysom Hill to succeed. It's not like I don't want him to succeed, but I don't want us to be naive and be like, okay, man, yeah, he can do this. If it's this situation, if it's that situation, nah, man. I mean, we all want a level of comfortability in our lives, right? We all want to go home and sit on a soft couch and then lay on a Posturepedic mattress at night. We all want that, right? We want AC. We want AC in the summer. We want heat in the winter. We all want those things, man. But every time, we're not going to always be fully accommodated. Sometimes you're going to have to handle up on your own business. And, Taysom been doing the same things for the last couple of weeks, man. And that's alarming. That's extremely alarming. Why everybody doubting us, TJ? You know what happens when they do that. Well, let them doubt. Because maybe, like I said, maybe this is one of those teams that don't need anybody singing their praises. Maybe if they fall to the back of the line, maybe, nobody will start paying attention to them. This reminds me of back in 2009 when they won 13 straight games and lost their last 3, and people start to get off the Saints train, and I think it actually did them some good. Patrick sat behind Alex Smith his rookie season, and Lamar threw for 70 yards in his rookie season and lost. Do TJ and Russell have the best defenses in NFL history behind them? Now you're moving the goalposts. Okay, now you're moving the goalposts here, Dank, because you can't say that one particular game. Or, with Lamar Jackson, or one game with Patrick Mahomes, or, a game when, Lamar Jackson, played in because Joe Flacco wasn't playing well. You can't count that as their rookie year if we doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? We need to evaluate them on a full body of work here. That's what we need to do. Like Patrick Mahomes came in week 17. You know what I'm saying, when it was all said and done. And then his next season, he came out there and he won league MVP. So I feel like we need to evaluate him that way. Lamar Jackson, he just kind of came in because Flacco was struggling, but he wasn't really fully ready. In that second year, he won league MVP. So I don't know, man. I don't see the difference. Like, Taysom Hill was behind Drew Brees all those years, man. You would think that, because he played all these different, I would think that because he has been with this team, he's been in a quarterback room, he's been kind of tailing Drew Brees, you would think that he would be further along. So, and honestly, if that's the case, then he needs to be further along. He needs to be way further along, right? Because what he been with the team, 3 years? These guys probably had like a little bit of a sample size, and then they're like, okay, kid, it's your time. So he should be well further along than they are. The game should have slowed down for him. You know, I mean, he needs to have slowed down for him. He should be able to read defenses. He should understand different concepts. So, Tamika says, "Go on, TJ." Dank says, "This Negro sounds just like David. You might need to start acting, my boy." Hey man, I used to take up theater. That was my minor when I was at Jackson State, man. I was a communications major and I minored in theater, man. So I've been in my fair share of plays before, man. I was in Fences. My school did a production on Fences. I'm pretty sure y'all probably seen that movie when Denzel Washington. Harmonies and Dark Old Men. I was in this play called The Piano Lesson. So I had my fair share of plays, man, I've been a part of. So, man, I'm thinking about changing my name. Why, man? Look, Otis Williams.